All right, today we're going to do something really cool. We are installing a brand new AI skill for Oracle APEX that could seriously change the way you work. I mean, imagine changing your applications, not by clicking through a maze of menus, but just by using simple, plain English. Let's dive in and see how to get this set up. So, let me ask you something. Are you just tired of the endless clicking inside the Apex builder? You know what I'm talking about, right? You're digging through menus, trying to find that one setting, all for one tiny change. It's that classic developer pain point, that little voice in your head going, there has to be a better way.
Well, what if there is a better way? What if you could just, tell your computer what you want? Imagine literally typing out, hey, add a select list item to this page, and poof, it's just done. This isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. It's exactly what we're going to get working today.
Okay, so what is this thing really? What's this magic tool? Let's pull back the curtain a bit and see what the Oracle APEX Component Modifier actually is, and more importantly, the clever tech that makes it all possible.
So, at its heart, this is a skill for something called Claude Code. And Claude Code is basically Anthropic's AI that lives right there in your command line. The best way to think of it is like your own personal coding buddy. You just tell it what to do in plain English, and it takes care of the whole 9 yards, exporting components, changing them, and importing them back in, all by itself. But wait, how does it do that securely? I mean, you don't want an AI just running wild on your database, right? Well, that's where something called MCP comes in, the Model Context Protocol. Honestly, the easiest way to picture it is like a super secure translator, or maybe a bouncer at a club. It lets the AI, Claude, talk directly to your Oracle database through SQLcl, but only with the specific permissions you give it. It's the secure handshake between the two.
All right, before we actually start the installation, we need to make sure our toolkit is ready. There are just 2 things you've got to have installed first. Let's do a quick pre-flight check. Okay, here's what you need. Number 1, Claude Code. That's the AI assistant for your terminal. And number 2, Oracle SQLcl. And listen, this part is super important. It has to be version 25.2 or later. Why? Because that specific version is the one that has that MCP server we just talked about baked right in. Oh, and you'll need Java 17 or 21 for it to run.
Okay, got those 2 things? Awesome. With the prep work done, it's time for the main event. We're going to walk through a really straightforward 5-step process to get this skill installed in your project. Let's do this.
That's right, just 5 simple steps. Let's get to it.
So here's our roadmap. First, we'll copy the files. Then, we'll tell Claude about our server. After that, we save our database connection, tweak a few settings, and the last step, the fun part, is making sure it all actually works. So let's jump into step 1.
Okay, step 1. This is all about just getting the skills files where they need to go. So pop open your terminal in whatever project directory you're working in. First, we'll use git clone to pull down the repository from GitHub. Next, we'll create that special .claude/skills directory. That's where Claude automatically looks for these things. Then we copy the skill right into that folder, and finally, we just delete the original clone folder to keep things tidy. Easy peasy.
Step 2. Now we need to introduce Claude to SQLcl, and we do it with just one single command. This is a really important step. You're basically telling Claude, hey, see that SQLcl thing? That's a secure server you're allowed to talk to. This command is what builds the bridge between the AI and your database tools.
All right, step 3. For this skill to actually do anything, it needs a way to log into your Apex database, right? We're going to set that up securely by creating a saved connection. So first, just open up SQLcl, but don't log in. Then you'll run the con-save command. You'll want to replace dev with whatever name you want to call this connection, and then obviously plug in your real username, password, and database info. The great thing is this saves it securely, so you won't have to type your password over and over again. We are so close. Step 4 is the last little bit of configuration. We just need to tell the skill which Apex app to work on by default. To do that, you're going to create a new file called settings.json right inside that .claude folder. And inside that file, you just need to put 3 things: the name of the connection you just saved, the ID of your Apex application, and your workspace name. That's it.
And that brings us to step 5. This is the moment of truth, the aha moment. We've done all the hard work, all the setup. Now it's time to see if Claude, SQLcl, and your Apex app are all playing nicely together.
So, to check if everything is working, just run this one command in Claude Code. What you're doing here is calling the skill we just installed, and you're giving it a really simple task: describe page 1 of your app. If everything is set up correctly, the skill will fire up, connect to your database, pull down the page details, and then tell you all about it.
And if you see a description of your page appear in the terminal, boom, you did it. Congratulations, you have officially installed your very first AI developer skill. You are now ready to start bossing around Apex with plain English.
So now that it's installed, you might be wondering, what's actually happening when I type a command? What's going on under the hood? Let's take a quick look behind the scenes at the workflow this skill is automating for you.
It's actually pretty amazing. When you give it a command, the AI kicks off this entire multi-step process. First, it exports the component from Apex. Then, it actually reads its own documentation to figure out how the files are structured. After that, it comes up with a plan to make your change. It applies the necessary database changes, patches the component files themselves, imports the modified component back into your application, and get this, it even runs a diff to verify that its changes were correct. It's like having a lightning-fast junior dev doing the whole cycle for you in seconds.
Okay, that was a lot to take in, I know. So let's just do a super quick recap. Think of this as your 5-step cheat sheet to get this up and running.
Remember the 5 steps? 1. Copy the skill files. 2. Register the SQLcl server. 3. Save your database connection. 4. Configure your Apex settings. And 5. Verify it with a quick test run. That's it. That's the whole process right there.
And that's pretty much it. You know, with tools like this one, that gap, that friction between having an idea and actually making it happen is just getting smaller and smaller. It really makes you think, right? It leaves you with this really exciting question. Once all the boring, tedious parts of coding are handled for you, what incredible things are you going to build with all that extra time and brainpower?